YouTube, what it is, it's your boy Diesel from Dieseltv. All right, man, so we have another one today. As you can see, I am at work. And so today, one of my subscribers is coming to visit me while I'm at work. He wanted to do a ride along. He just applied for another police department down in Atlanta, somewhere in Atlanta. I'm not gonna give you those details. I'll let him give those details because I don't know if he really wants that information out there like that yet or not. So, like I said, man, he's coming in. He's going to want to ride with me today. So I'm gonna head into the office and try to get some stuff done before he gets here. It's probably another hour before he gets here. So he's gonna ride with me for about 2 or 3 hours, not all day or anything like that. He's gonna ride with me, and then we're gonna do some lunch. And then after that, I got a meeting this afternoon that he's not gonna be able to attend. So that's gonna be it for that, man. He's in town and he just wanted to holler at your boy Diesel. He got with me on IG, got with me on my texting number that I have, that I allow people to text me at. If you guys don't know, that number is in the description. So yeah, man, we're gonna see what happens, man. So y'all stay tuned. What up, what up? What's going on? Doing all right?
Yeah.
How things going?
Good.
How's it going? Doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, YouTube, so we are here. I got me some riders with me. Apparently, one of my riders, he's got a YouTube channel. What's the YouTube channel name?
Officer D.
Officer D. D? I ain't never calling you no Officer D.
Officer D.
Oh, hell no.
What's the problem?
D?
Officer D.
Oh, we gonna call him Officer. If y'all wanna go to his channel, well, I ain't never calling nobody no Officer. I'm Officer D. I'm
Officer
Captain D. But hell no, what the?
Man, I think that'd be a little different. You be Chief D. Trying to fit your name.
But this dude riding behind me talking about some B. Boy, what the heck? Anyway, I got my 2 riders with me. We gonna ride around for a minute. Introduce yourself, fellas.
My name is Officer, aka gonna be Officer Zoe. So I might start a YouTube channel, maybe, perhaps, but after I go through the hiring process. Was the camera right here?
Yeah.
Alright, so once I go to the hiring process, I might probably start a YouTube channel and put y'all into how I got through the police department.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna start a YouTube channel with that little ass voice. You need to say it with your chest. You gotta say it with your chest. Tell them, YouTube, you gotta say it with your chest. Now, come on, bring up the octaves a little bit. We ain't sexy.
So my name is Officer Zoe.
There you go, baby.
And like I said, in the future, I might start a YouTube channel, but like right now, I'm in the process behind for Albany, Georgia, and hopefully everything goes well.
All right. Backseat.
All right, yeah, I'm Officer D. YouTube channel, Officer D. Just look it up. And police officer about going on 5 years now. So we just here riding.
All right. So we gonna ride around for a minute, y'all, and we gonna I'm gonna let y'all see a little bit. I ain't gonna show you everything because y'all just nosy as hell, and I'm just not gonna show y'all everything. But we gonna ride around for a minute, and I'm gonna show them my little town that we got going on here, and we'll get right back with you.
A strict chase policy.
A lot of places do have a strict chase policy, but see, the thing about it, what people don't understand is, with departments of 200 officers, you're bound to have at least 15, 20 dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make that policy for those dumbasses. Because if you don't, those dumbasses are going for everybody, period, point blank. So I get it. Charlotte and all that stuff having these real strict chase policies, a no chase and stuff like that, I get it. But a department like mine, I can pretty much single out who I want to talk to about chasing and who, you know what I'm saying? Because I got officers that I know they have the experience, and I have officers, like I tell them, hey man, I know what the chase policy says, but what you need to do is really think about what you're doing in that chase and is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? I can pull that officer aside and make him really rethink it. So where you want to take your career, man?
So pretty much what I'm trying to do is my end goal is trying to be like a sergeant detective. I want to be like a juvenile detective. I don't know. Y'all have juvenile issues over here?
Yeah, everywhere has juvenile issues.
Oh, okay.
We don't have an actual juvenile. We don't even have a detective. We don't have enough property crimes
to do something like that.
To have a detective. The officers do their own investigations, and if it gets too much, I've got the experience, so I'll do them. I've only had to do one investigation which I cleared.
Gotcha. That's why I didn't even ask you that, because I already know the department's small. I was gonna be like, do you even need to have a detective? But I was like, yeah.
If they give us 4, I will get a detective then, because then we'll have enough population to add a detective, for me to say, yeah, we need a detective. But as of right now, we don't have enough investigations to or, I mean, the investigations are so easy. Like, we had a fraud investigation. I mean, and all it was just getting search warrants for accounts, and then we could get those charges on the person. So I mean, that's really nothing to that. What about you? Where are you trying to go?
Right now, probably the next thing be SRO.
SRO?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Never want to do that. I hate kids. But
Yeah, I probably got a very. I'll tell you what. We got a very good use of force policy. You ain't gonna.
You can give me a copy of that. I need to update my use of force policy. Give me a copy of that, bro. I need to update my use of force policy.
I'll let you see it. It's very good.
If you can email it to me, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, hold on. I'll give it to you. They are very pro use of force over there.
That's what I want to be. I had this dude, we was on a domestic violence call up there at the gas station. And the guy that called, apparently he was the caller, but he waited till I get there to approach the guy and tell him that if he wouldn't have called, he was going to shoot him. He would have shot him. He was like, you better be glad I called, because I was the only officer out there, because we're so shorthanded. I've had to work a few shifts here lately.
By yourself, right?
By
Only officer on the block?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Send us 3-4 calls. Randomly send us a 3-4.
Bro. If it's running like that, we have to. You would if our call volume was that much, we would have to hire more officers. I mean, that's
okay. Got
so
it.
our call volume fits what we're at as far as officers. Only reason we need, like, from 12 midnight till 12 the next day, it's usually one officer. On the weekends. Now through the week when I come in, I'll come in and be secondary for officers for the morning shift from like 8, whenever I get into 12 when a mid-shift officer comes in. But there's no mid-shift right now because we're just so short-handed.
So pretty much every officer right now is on steady shifts.
Yeah, 12-hour shifts, except for me. I'm the only one that's not on a 12-hour shift, but everybody else is on.
So your salary, right?
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would still have to fill in. Everybody's pretty much salary. Now I got it to where I'm giving them comp time because we can't afford overtime, so I'm giving them comp time. But everybody.
I can't afford overtime?
No. Bro, let me tell you something. You're gonna get in this job, you're gonna realize when they say police don't get paid enough, it's not the fact that we just don't get paid. The towns don't have the money to pay.
Oh, okay,
I mean, Charlotte has the money to pay, but you got to understand also with Charlotte, if they were fully staffed and they had as many officers as they need for call volume, they would not be able to afford that overtime because they would need to hire at least 500 or 600 more officers so that officers aren't just bombarded with calls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be on a call and have 3 or 4 more calls holding. That's how it is in Charlotte. For that not to happen, they have to hire so many more officers. Towns, these cities can't afford that. So either you're gonna have a small department like mine that is not bombarded, or you're gonna have a big department that pays well, but you're just gonna work your ass off.
Gotcha. You're never gonna get the middle.
Right. So when I first started, I worked for a sheriff's department, and even when we were fully staffed with a full squad, your closest backup was 15 minutes away, and you worked by yourself.
Oh shit.
So that's just how I was. Sheriff's department. That's how it is.
Yeah, usually I heard it. You pretty much sometimes
one officer to a whole side of the county. Yep. You would run your ass off. I would run from time in and time out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, it's for one, it was good experience. I got a lot of good experience out of that. But you might be on a call by yourself. I mean, a lot of people think that when it comes to policing, you fighting every day and all that stuff. When was the last time you got into a fight?
Last week.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, but before that, I mean, it ain't no fight every day. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
not every day.
You ain't running and gunning every day. Now, when I worked Homeland Security, and I was on this, I was the SWAT team commander. Yes, I ran and gunned every day. I mean, if it was training or whatever, I did there was a lot of running and gunning, but that's on a specialized unit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about regular patrol. You ain't running and gunning every day. Do the same damn thing I'm gonna do. When it's time for me to go, bro, I'm out. Now, y'all can come bring me back as a contracted worker, but I'm getting my retirement.
You always worked in North Carolina? You always lived in North Carolina?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, if you're gonna start a career somewhere, make sure you want to stay with the state so you don't lose that supplemental retirement. That's what the third. See, a lot of people don't understand when it comes to a retirement. Let's say New York, 20 years. That's a supplement. That's not your actual retirement. That's just to hold you over until you get to retirement age at 65.
Okay, gotcha.
So, you know, you might work for them 20 years, and let's say you work for 15 years in New York, and then you come to North Carolina. You gotta work another 15 years to get that supplement. If North Carolina is willing to take the 15 years you got out of New York.
And how do they do that?
You have to fill out some paperwork, and they have to agree to it. Yeah, so you could do it, but you would lose that 20-year supplement that you got from New York, because North Carolina doesn't offer a 20-year. So if you're going to Georgia and you're working a 30, you know what I'm saying, make sure if you're going to leave a state, they take your retirement and that they are on the same 30-year contract or less.
Like, for example, if I wanted to come to your department, would you be able to take my contract?
I'd have to see, because I'd have to take that with my town manager. My town manager would have to say that they're willing to pay whatever it is. Because if you're coming from New York, like, New York officers get paid way more than North Carolina officers. Yeah. So you have to pay off of what their 5 most paid years.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So if it's more money than they're willing to pay, then no, I wouldn't be able to take it.
Okay. But if it's Georgia, it's like similar. Isn't that the money similar?
Yeah, it's similar. I don't see a problem with Georgia. Like, as long as you're not over the 6-figure, you should be all right.
Okay, gotcha.
You should be all right.
But Devon put me onto North Carolina because me before, I never seen myself like coming out here.
Right.
It reminds me of Georgia. So it's like if I like Georgia, like coming out here, it's calm out here. It's not really...
I don't know why you didn't go to Winston-Salem PD, man. They hiring like hell. Right?
Yeah, I'm from Winston.
Hey, Winston's the biggest ghetto I've ever seen in the city, boy. But I'm telling you, I've worked with that department. I know 2 of the chiefs.
See, there's a lot of female chiefs in North Carolina.
Yeah, there's a lot of black chiefs in North Carolina too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Winston-Salem is a good place to start out, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's talking.
I mean, I know for a fact you don't send no officer. You wouldn't send no officer to the academy. That's too much money for the town. You have to,
well, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about doing it now. It's just I don't know how to do the contract, because I don't want anybody to skip out on us after they do their academy, then go somewhere else. That's what Salisbury's having a problem. They had 2 guys. They sent 2 guys to the academy, and a week after they finished the academy, they accept the job somewhere else.
I mean, you could do a 2-year contract. That's how Georgia does it.
I don't know if I want to force somebody into a 2-year contract, because really, when you think about it, 3 months of me paying you ain't worth 2 years. That's not 2 years worth of pay.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't think 2 years is fair. I'd say 12 months might be fair. But I want to do something like to where after you get out of your FTO, then the clock starts. So I would want to do something like a 6-month, because with your FTO, that gives me almost a year.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
That's one thing I want to talk to you about, bro. If there's one thing of advice I can give you, that blue line ain't blue.
Yeah, I know that.
All right?
Yeah.
Stay to yourself. Get you some friends outside of law enforcement. Just be careful, because I don't know if y'all know my story, but I had 2 felonies.
Bro?
Yeah. When I worked for the state, and they had me charged with 2 felonies: obtaining property by false pretense. They said I lied on my time sheets.
Oh, so you got it through law enforcement?
Yes, it was my chief. When they went to the SBI and told the SBI that I had been lying on my time sheets. Only thing that got me out of it is because I had the emails from the chief showing that he was lying. So the DA's office dropped all the charges. Gotcha. But I still had to go through that. And with COVID and all that shit, I was out of work for almost a year.
Because of that bullshit, right?
Because of that bullshit. Because of COVID, I mean, they were trying to get it in court, but COVID restrictions wouldn't get it in court. And then I had to go through the whole, and if he's been in, I don't know if he's heard or not, but that that hearing you got to go through for standards, training standards, boy, that shit there, boy, had your nerves up. because they determine if you get to keep your certification or not. Regardless of if you're not guilty,
or you guilty,
drop the charges or not, they do their own separate investigation, and if they determine if they feel like you actually did the crime, they take your certification.
Gotcha. Like a captain position, shit like that. I'm more like, my end goal is to be like a pretty much sergeant detective.
Let me tell you, man, some of the best advice I can give you is worry about your money. Don't worry about all that other shit. Worry about your money. If you like the job, you love the job, and you're doing the job, just worry about getting paid. Because just as soon as you got them damn bars, just as soon as I got this Chiefs, they can take it from me tomorrow. I just want to make sure my money's right, so I can live good and enjoy it instead of stressing about how I'm gonna get my bills paid and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was working for the state, I was 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'll ever get back to that, but I got paid enough years to where my retirement's going to reflect off of that.
That's 6 figures pretty much.
Right, because your retirement goes off your 4 highest paid years. Not your 4 last years, your 4 highest paid.
Oh, okay.
So my 4 years is going to be based off 110 and down to 100,000. You know what I'm saying? My last year I worked there, I made 110. So that's what's going to be based off those last 4 years of me working. So I ain't really worried about how much I get paid now, because those years afforded me to where I got my house payment down to only $400 a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I ain't got to get paid a whole month. Even though I'm getting paid higher here, I am getting paid higher than a town. It's like a town this size you would. So it's one of them things to where I'm good now. I'm not worried about
finances and all that shit.
I'm worried about finances, but I
like
make
overtime
sure.
And all that. You don't have to worry about doing
right.
that
So that's what you need to be trying to focus on when it comes to this career, is making sure your money's right in the long run. Because in the long run, it don't matter what you were. It don't matter if you was a detective. It don't matter if you was a sergeant. What matters is how much you got paid.
Gotcha. So how much would you start a detective at your department if you had the budget?
I can't even go there right now, because that ain't even what I would want to start a detective at. What I think a detective should start with this size department. Yeah. 45.
45, right?
Yeah, that's what I think they should be starting out with. But that's just how people think that ain't in law enforcement.
Yeah, but I mean, I will understand that too, because like they're pretty much the same ranking, honestly.
Yeah, but you're doing way more work.
Obviously, paperwork and shit, right?
Hell yeah. You gotta understand, with a patrol officer, they just sit around wait for 911. Call it. Anything other than that, they're doing themselves looking for a car or whatever. But literally, what your job is just to answer 911.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you're a traffic unit or something like that. Here, my only requirement is my guys is to make sure they answer 911. Anything past that, you know what I'm saying, I'm good with. If they want to stop cars or whatever. A detective, they got to go out and find them. The crime. Yeah. That's a lot more work than just sitting around waiting for 911.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they need to be paid more because they're doing a lot more work.
Gotcha, makes sense. Okay.
So, all right, so we have gotten back to the police department. We talked a little bit, rode around. We were around about 2 minutes running. About 2 minutes we rode around, because my town's small. So we rode around for about 2 or 3 minutes, and we talked a good little bit. I think you're gonna be good, man. I think you're gonna be good when it comes to the police job, man. I think you got a good head on your shoulders, man.
Thank you, man.
I think you'll be all right. So, my boy back here, we're not gonna go
Officer D.
Matter of fact, y'all don't go subscribe to this. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming down to see me, man. We're gonna chop it up for a little bit longer. They ain't gonna leave, but we getting off of this YouTube thing because I don't want to be acting no more in front of the camera. But I appreciate you guys coming down to see me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And y'all know what it is, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.